The clip you just watched comes from a channel called Old Minecraft Reuploads, a sizable Minecraft channel claiming to re-upload videos from 2010 and 2011. There are only 9 videos, each of which seems totally normal on the surface, but upon a deeper inspection, these 9 videos house one of the most cryptic and unsettling Minecraft mysteries on YouTube. But to understand, we have to start at video 1, Minecraft Base Tour. The video begins as normal. It's evidently gameplay from an older alpha version of Minecraft 1.1.2 with some calming music playing while our unnamed protagonist tours his house. Nothing out of the ordinary until we get to the mines. As the player leaves his house, all of a sudden the screen cuts to black. All his items are gone and he only has half a heart left. The video then resumes like nothing happened, but right before it ends we get this really unsettling scene. Footsteps running towards our player and a flash of blue legs for a singular frame before the video cuts to black. Even more concerning, sprinting wasn't added to the game until beta, meaning whatever this is, it could not have been a player. But I'm getting ahead of myself. There are a few more details we should analyze before trying to figure out the story of this video. It's labeled in the description, a file date, September 20th, 2010. Original description, none. And a present day description,
a base that I built when I first started playing. Looking back, it's pretty bad. There weren't even beds yet, so I had to use wool.
No mention of the weird oddities we noticed throughout the video. There are also subtitles, something we don't see at all in the other uploads, but the captions themselves are lacking. At 0:14 we get 0:28 we get and strangest of all, at 1:30 we get you. These subtitles are odd. The first two don't seem to mean anything, but the last one definitely could be significant. Could the you be the entity we see in the last few seconds? Is our protagonist familiar with it? We can't know yet, but it's actually the music that poses the most immediate mystery. But for that to make any sense, we'll have to revisit it later on, because it's time for video 2, the TNT Spawner. This video is really nothing special, and for that reason alone, it might be the most out of place. It's a pretty innocent montage of the creator crafting up gunpowder, TNT, and then bombing the mobs in his world. The only mildly unsettling part is the text that comes on screen every now and then, and the questionable choice of music that I can't play for copyright reasons. But barring that, there's nothing to note here. The date in the description places this video at 2 days after the previous video, and this time we have an original message.
The TNT Spawner gets his revenge on the monsters of the night.
And a note from the creator on using Windows Movie Maker. That explains the text. This video doesn't give us much, but it will be helpful later on when we establish the different characters in the series. Case in point, video number 3, really cool caves in Minecraft. The video begins with a tour of some interesting cave generation. Nothing crazy until 18 seconds into the video where we catch a glimpse of a silhouette. Is it a player? It kind of looks like it, but it's never acknowledged in the video, but this pales in comparison to what happens later on. That's extremely eerie. Footsteps occurring when the player isn't even moving. Something is in the game with them. The breathing noise is actually an unused sound file that Mojang was planning to add into the game but never did, and from the menu screen we know that this world is on single player, making the player's silhouette and breathing all the more concerning. Again, we get a date for this file, 4 days after the previous, and an original description. Really cool and weird cave generation I found in Minecraft. No mention of the oddities. This video, when put together with the first, makes it look like our player might be haunted by some sort of entity, but who and why? Video number 4, Minecraft Secret Tutorial Level World, like video 2, is concerningly normal. It's a showcase of the old Minecraft tutorial world. The player explores around, runs around, it's very calm. At 1 minute 10 seconds, we see what might be a creepy creeper behind this door, but looking at the actual world file, it's likely that what we see is just grass. So, is that it? Is it normal? No. This video actually has the most problems and Easter eggs out of almost any video, you just have to know where to look. The description places it a whole month after the previous video, but more importantly, we're introduced to another character, Legend of Anthony 721, who supposedly helped our protagonist get this world working. There's also this randomly placed not sure that I have no idea what the meaning is, but regardless, you might be confused what the strange part of this video is. Well, the Minecraft tutorial level was a world only released for the console edition of the game. It was never actually available on Java. There would be no reason to call this video secret unless it wasn't meant to be played on Minecraft Alpha. At the time of this video, the play tutorial world button would have been impossible to press, so we can somehow assume that Anthony managed to get his hands on this secret tutorial level world and gave it to his friend, and that's what we're watching. We get more oddities as the video progresses. The moment our player spawns in, the text in chat weirdly reads "work in progress," almost as if this world wasn't meant to be public yet, which makes sense because it wasn't. And we know that this work in progress is intentional. Take a look at the text fading out animation. The box around the text looks very edited in. This text was not part of the game, but something the creator of the video tacked on because they wanted us to catch the glimpse of it. They wanted to make clear that this tutorial world was still a work in progress. And there are more inconsistencies. The Minecraft sign in the video absolutely does not look like the real one in the tutorial world, even in the earliest iteration. Brown and black sheep wouldn't exist until beta 1.2. Birch trees wouldn't exist until then either, and the powered rails in the minecart system and paintings in the castle are seemingly missing from the world we see in the video. Keep in mind, the footage you're seeing on the left is from the earliest released version of the Minecraft tutorial world, and this actually isn't the only time we've seen unreleased features in these videos. Remember the breathing files from earlier? Even in the first video, we already got a hint of some time manipulation shenanigans. The song that plays over part of the video is Mice on Venus, my favorite of the Minecraft soundtrack, but a song that wasn't added until Alpha 1.2, later than the version the video creator was playing in. Are these inconsistencies intentional or just mistakes by the ARG creator? Well, obviously there's no way to know for sure, but I think there's just too many inconsistencies for it to be accidental. Somehow, our friend Anthony has access to features that don't exist yet, but we're not even halfway through the series. It's time to talk to Anthony face to face. The video titled Other is the 5th video on the channel, but the description reveals it's actually the earliest recorded video so far, 6 days before Minecraft base tour. It consists of
random footage I had lying around of me and a friend chatting in a server, a bit corrupted as you can tell from the quality.
It's in this video that we finally get a name for our protagonist, Gold Mario 982. The conversation is between him and Anthony. The footage itself is corrupted and boring, but the dialogue between the two is very interesting.
I hope you've been doing better.
I haven't gotten better at all, honestly. I still feel like total shit.
Well, still I hope things do get better.
I don't know if it's really that bad, but I'm starting to get worried.
I woo.
And then it cuts off. The final frame of the video is also suspicious. It's not where Mario was when the video was cut. It's a different shot entirely, one with no hearts and no items, similar to the cut in Minecraft base tour. The real mystery of this video is obvious though. What happened to Anthony? When I first watched the video, I thought he was sick. I hope you're doing better, I feel awful, I'm starting to get worried, all things that could be said if Anthony was suffering from some sort of illness. But that isn't the only possible explanation. It could be guilt for some reason or another. Maybe Anthony did something bad and is feeling guilty. He doesn't know if what he did was that bad, but he's starting to get worried. This also somewhat accounts for the last message Mario begins typing. The I would is almost definitely the start of I would, which implies some sort of recommendation. In my mind at least, it makes more sense that Mario would say this and give advice on what he would do if Anthony had done something bad and wasn't sure what to do himself, not if he was sick. But with only this evidence, it's too ambiguous to make a clear verdict on what happened to him. But luckily, there are 4 more videos that we can analyze, and these are by far the most sinister. The video Minecraft Castle Construction is supposedly from November 3rd, 2010, 4 days after the secret tutorial level world. It should be noted that this video was sent to Gold Mario by Anthony, so the gameplay we are watching comes from Anthony himself. The video starts with Anthony just building a castle as usual, however when he opens his inventory his skin is pitch black. He continues to build, but his attention seems to be fixed on a strange hole in the corner of his world. When he goes to explore it, he goes into the menu to presumably turn his music off. Since it says save and quit the title, we know this is a single player world, so nothing should be happening while he's paused in the menu, but instead of nothing, we're met with this scene. The fog creeps up to him, and between the two menu buttons, we see a dark silhouette come into frame while block placing sounds are heard. At first, I thought this looked like the arms of a villager, though it may be a name tag over a player head. I'm honestly not sure, but given that he can place blocks, Anthony is definitely not alone in the single player world. Something is watching him. Unfazed, Anthony explores the hole. He comes across a very man-made looking tunnel, and while exploring further, runs into skeletons. This may not seem like much, but this is yet another anomaly. The skeletons are holding their bow as a 3D model, something that wouldn't be added to the game until beta. In alpha, when Anthony was playing, it would look like this. But the creepiest part of the video definitely happens when Anthony nears the end of the cave. Again, whatever this is isn't human. It shouldn't be able to sprint, much less be in a single player world. Anthony pillars out of the hole and seals it off with cobble, returning to his castle and hiding in the corner on one heart, evidently shook up. This is likely the same entity that jumped Mario in the first video, stalked him in the cool cave generation video, and watched Anthony while he was changing his settings. But again, why? What does it want? Well, to finally get to the bottom of this mystery, we need to investigate the final 3 videos. The video for Anthony was recorded just 2 days after the encounter. It's from the perspective of Gold Mario opening Anthony's world and exploring it for him. This makes the description all the more ominous. Subscribe. Subscribe? Well, if you're enjoying the video, then please do consider subscribing. It means a ton, and I want to try to make more ARG video essay content like this one, so if you like this, then subscribing would help a ton and tell me I should keep making this style of video. So thank you so much, but no, it doesn't say subscribe. The description actually says delete it. Note, this isn't actually an original description like the previous videos. This is a comment from modern day Mario, making it all the more creepy. If you're curious how I know this is a Mario POV, note that he's playing on his second world save file, implying he got the world from Anthony. But for the Spectics, we'll get definitive evidence later in the video, so for now, let's just dig in. Mario spawns exactly where Anthony left off, meaning the world hasn't been opened since Anthony's encounter with the entity, meaning everything should all be the same. If you can't see where I'm going with this, everything is not the same. Mario heals back to full health and approaches the hole. He tries to turn his render distance up from tiny, but for some reason, it's stuck. He creeps down the hole until he gets to the caves, and boy has this entity been busy. Despite this being a single player world that had no right being modified, sprawling tunnels have been dug on every surface of the cave, some tiny and some massive, and they are everywhere. This is also the first time we see Mario using a red skin. In all the past videos, he's always been blue. Maybe it's because he's playing on Anthony's world, although skin changing wouldn't be added for another 2 versions of the game in Alpha 1.2.2. In typical Mario fashion, the climax of this video happens at the end. Mario places a torch, he looks away for a second, the torch is broken, and a cave sound plays. Mario, rightfully frightened, quits the game. Besides this absolutely devious jump scare, That's all we have to work with, a torch disappearance. Clearly, something is haunting Anthony's world file, something that Gold Mario now has to deal with too. We've almost reached the point where we can start analyzing the entire series, but there are still 4 minutes of content left, 2 more final episodes. The video titled Other 2 doesn't have a date, no description, no nothing. But looking at the version in the top left-hand corner, it could be anywhere between August 23rd and September 10th, making it the earliest video in the series. The video begins with a normal caving sequence until it cuts to the scene I showed you at the beginning of the video. The protagonist approaches a wall of fences in the middle of a stone void, and the video ends. But not before we get a glimpse of something in the bottom left corner. Some random gibberish then flashes in the text box in the bottom left. This is by far the most forward and cryptic video of the series. The text in the bottom left is a Caesar cipher, a way to decode messages by shifting all the letters a certain number of letters over. So in this case, A becomes N, B becomes O, etc, etc. The decoded message translates to, "You never really were the nicest person, Anthony. Quit lying to yourself." So is the player in the video Anthony? Or is it Mario? There's no way to fully determine who it is that we're watching, although there is considerable proof that it may be Anthony. Take a look at the hotbar in the cave segment of the video. The tools are all the way on the left. The same setup can be seen in Minecraft castle construction, Anthony's POV. All the other videos so far have the tools all the way on the right. That's how Gold Mario organizes his inventory. The only exception is for Anthony, where Gold Mario plays with the tools on the left. But remember, Mario is playing on a world Anthony saved, which explains why the tools are where they are, so we can assume that this video is from Anthony's point of view. That makes the dialogue all the more confusing. Who is insulting Anthony to his face? It probably isn't Mario. Is it the mysterious entity from before? What did Anthony do to deserve this? It's clear that he must have done something bad, something that he may feel guilty about in Other 1. But as for who this entity is that's seeking revenge on him, that's still an unknown, much less how it has access to features of Minecraft that haven't been released yet, mechanics that shouldn't be possible in the game. The location of this video is also extremely odd. I mean, there's no way you just casually find this in your Minecraft world. It feels silly to just brush over this giant expanse as if it's normal when it's definitely not. This whole fence gate thing could even be symbolic, although that might be pushing it a little. It may not be an actual scene from a Minecraft world, but instead representative of an event in Anthony's life, mind, or consciousness. Or maybe it's representative of Anthony being somewhere off limits, somewhere guarded where he shouldn't be. But if there is symbolism in this giant wall of wooden fences, it's lost on me, and I'll leave that to you guys in the comments. But to solve this mystery, there's still one final video to watch. That is, of course, the most recent video, Minecraft Beta 1.1 Mob Grinder, a callback to the TNT Spawner. Yet, unlike that one, this video is anything but normal. It begins with a few seconds of conversation between Mario and Anthony. The conversation shows Mario telling Anthony to delete his world, saying he found something very wrong. This is presumably the world where we saw Minecraft castle construction. Yet when the gameplay loads in, something else is amiss. The tools are on the left, and when we catch a glimpse of Mario's skin, it's red. This is Anthony's world. It's Anthony's save file. The "I'm going to record" might be a reference to this world then instead of the castle, though that video being titled For Anthony makes far more sense in the context of the conversation we just saw. Anthony sends castle and Mario records a video for Anthony, but it could just as well be referencing this world that Anthony just sent Mario. We don't know. The mob grinding continues for almost 2 minutes until the video cuts, and all of a sudden Mario is on 1.5 hearts in the middle of a cave, evidently terrified. He hears a cave noise and some footsteps on dirt. He's on stone, however, so we know something is in the world with him. He runs into the open to find mob drops everywhere. Clearly, something must have gone on a killing spree. Panicked, Mario flees into his basement where he shakily gets in a minecart and carts away. When he reaches the end of the track, he burrows into the safe house. It seems empty. Yet the second he turns away, we get this. The entity locks him in the room and Mario again runs away, perpetually trying to escape the demon that's following him. There are a few more things to point out here. The most obvious is the length of time that Anthony looked away from the stairs to the time the blocks were placed. The entity crossed this entire distance in a single second. It isn't a regular player, it has complete control over the game. Another potential detail is that this could be the same world we saw in the video Other 1. The giant mountains we see in that video and the ones we see here for a split second could align, though what that means is up in the air. But most interestingly, the description of this video places it a whole month and a half after the previous. This should immediately be strange. If the conversation Gold Mario and Anthony were having references the For Anthony video, why would they be having it a whole month after that experience took place? And we know they're having it now because we can see that Anthony is typing. So what's with the time skip? Are they instead referencing this world? Well, now that we've seen every video, we can try to piece together all the information to form a cohesive story of what we've witnessed. Anthony did something morally wrong as evidenced from Other 2, something that he feels really guilty about and he's worried might get worse, as he told Mario in Other 1. But what did he do? Did he bully a child and now it's haunting his game? It's plausible, but there's no reason to think that. What the objective facts say is that there's someone in Mario and Anthony's games who shouldn't be there. Someone with unnatural speed and superhuman powers. And moreover, there are features of the game that haven't been released or implemented yet. My theory is that somehow Anthony managed to get his hands on leaked Minecraft game files, work in progress testing of worlds and mechanics that he shared with Mario, stuff in development that wasn't meant for the public to have, hence the off-limits and gated area he's about to break into in Other 2. This is the moment where he steals the files and the guilt begins. He tells Mario that he feels horrible, but unbeknownst to him, there's an entity protecting those versions of Minecraft. An entity that's part of Minecraft, giving it seemingly superhuman powers. An entity that is now haunting his worlds and tormenting him, so he sends it over to Mario to have a look, causing it to invade his game as well. An entity that, for what it's worth, has never killed either Anthony or Mario, despite leaving them on half a heart many times over. Why? Why doesn't it just kill them? It definitely has the power to, because it doesn't need to. It just wants to scare them. This entity's purpose is to protect these leaked versions of Minecraft, and doesn't want Mario and Anthony to be playing them, so it tries to scare them away from the game, by stalking them from a distance, leaving them on half a heart, by jump scaring them when they aren't looking, by breaking their torches, killing all the animals around them, breathing in their caves, and chasing them around the world. It wants to scare them away from what they stole. It doesn't want them to play. Hence why Mario tries to get revenge on the mobs in TNT Pawner and the Mob Grinder. He thinks he's against this sort of spirit of Minecraft, so he's striking back against the mobs, against Minecraft itself for revenge, but his efforts are sadly not enough. The entity is too powerful, and it drives Mario and Anthony to keep running away from the game forever, just as it wants them to. But this conclusion is relatively speculative, and there are still many loose ends left to be desired. What does the "not sure" mean in the description of Minecraft's secret tutorial level world? What is the fence room in Other 2? Why are there month-long breaks between the files, and what is the real point of TNT Pawner? Given that the channel description says videos from 2010 and 2011, yet we only see videos from 2010, it seems like this ARG has been abandoned by the creator. But who knows? We can hope that maybe one day they decide to log back in and finish the ARG. But in the meantime, the case of Old Minecraft Reuploads will remain a perpetual mystery. Thanks for watching, peace out, have a good one, I'll see you next time.